It's time now for business. I am Beverly Broom. Dean of the School of Law at the University of Professional Studies in Accra, Professor Kofi Abotsi says the African Continental Free Trade Area should improve its transparency in its transactions. Such a move, he claims, will build on and speed up the implementation of continental frameworks and other comparable projects. He spoke to Joy Business at the International Lecture on Dispute Settlement under the AfCFTA and the New African Legal Market. There's more.
According to Professor Abotsi, the African Continental Free Trade Area should be resolute in strengthening its values of transparency. This, he believes, will support the structures and systems of the AfCFTA in the decisions with respect to dispute settlement and the new African legal market.
But I guess the point is, in any trading regime, what sustains the regime is a sense of fairness and transparency, a sense of members that they are gaining equally, and that there's egalitarian treatment of all members. And so particularly in respect of disputes. Now disputes are going to come. So the challenge really is how you resolve the dispute. So in terms of disputes and the management of dispute, transparency is a fundamental factor, a fundamental value. And so the suggestion is that the AfCFTA will be better served is the promoter. Now significantly, the AfCFTA itself has adopted transparency as one of its pivotal values. So the suggestion is that the AfCFTA should actually move to bolster the values of transparency by ensuring that the structures and systems and processes that are employed are open, they're transparent, and that parties have an opportunity to not only challenge but verify and review things in case they have difficulties or challenges with some of the decisions of the Dispute Settlement Board.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Senor Hosi, explained that the lack of an independent legal system under the AfCFTA will restrain investor confidence.
So you definitely need a lot more confidence in the existing structure. The independence of the structure is very important. The credibility of that structure is equally important. It's quite refreshing seeing the number of mediation opportunities and consultations that exist, but really looking at the structure that requires quite some dependence on governments. These are political, partisan-led governments trying to now enforce or to rather be the ones only with capacity or locus to trigger a resolution at some level of this dispute resolution system is quite scary. So you can imagine if I'm a Ghanaian businessman and I'm not seen as a friend of the government of the time in a highly polarized environment that we find ourselves today. What will become of my economic interests as a Ghanaian? That could pose major challenges for me. And when people see this risk, it will actually inhibit investments or the success of AfCFTA. So we need to look at that. We need to have a system, a dispute resolution system, a judicial system that engenders a lot more confidence. And that system is not well served if it's so heavily dependent on partisan politicians and their governments.
Dispute settlement mechanism, according to AfCFTA, shall preserve the rights and obligations of state parties under the agreement and clarify the existing provisions of the agreement.